Guys, welcome back again to Nananyana TV. This time we're going to talk about catfish, how to begin your catfish, how to nurture them to grow into a big farmland, how you can increase your yield by starting small, and as they grow, the various transitions they will go, and then virtually increasing the farm size, the layers, and having the big pond and going the commercial way. Today, we'll delve into catfish farming, and I think that will yield a lot. Join me, let's go on the field and see how catfish farming, can be started.
Their own catfish farm. What are they supposed to know? What are some of the important information that are relevant in catfish farming?
Okay, with catfish, I mean, it's just like anything. The major thing is how you just need to know how to care for the fish. You have to understand, basically, there's a certain, it's aquaculture, right? So it's not like, crop or livestock. It's animals fish that have to mainly survive in water. You have to understand, the times to, basically general management, when to change their water, how to identify any sicknesses, how to treat these sicknesses, how to, the feed as well. What size of fish should they be eating per their age? What ingredient is in the feed itself? Is it more at a certain age they need more protein than carbohydrate? At a certain age to when they are built, more carbohydrates. So you have to basically top two things. I say number one, understand the management aspect.
Yeah.
Then number two, understand how to sell the business.
All right, y'all come back to another talk about farming and agriculture here in Ghana. We are still on the name of the farm. What's forgetting the Gromank
Yes.
Farms.
Yes.
Yes.
I remember.
We've had a conversation with Kojo on how they started, how the business has been.
Yeah.
We looked at his piggery farm too as well, with like I think 80 something capacity now.
Yeah.
Yes. We've looked at that video too as well. So yes, if you not check those videos, you can go back and have a look at them. But in this video, we're going to look at catfish farming. As you can see right behind us, he has a concrete catfish farm in here. I want to know why he started catfish farming in the first place. So you out there watching us can be inspired to start your own catfish farm. If you need some information about catfish farming too, you can be inspired to start something similar as well. Yeah, so before we get into the video, make sure you like this video for me. Like so YouTube gets to promote to other viewers. Subscribe to the channel so we all grow together. As I said, 100,000 subscribers by the end of 2024 or in the course of 2024. So yes, please help make the target a reality. Okay, Kodo, so I want to know catfish farming.
Yeah.
In the first place, my first question will be, why go into catfish farming?
Okay, so like what I said earlier, with everything, it's you are a businessman or businesswoman.
Yeah.
You have to understand what the market wants and then place yourself to supply the market, the demand of the market. So when I did a quick market research, I realized that, Ghana, we love our fish, seafood, whether it's snail, whether it's tilapia, whether it's crab with okra and all of that. Recently, you see that catfish has had, because I think mainly because of, Nigerian influence as well.
Yeah.
We have, we have a lot of Nigerian brothers and sisters here. So mainly because of the influence as well, in a way. And, just looking at, or probably people also being a bit tired, not tired, but, they just want something different from the tilapia.
Yeah.
So if you look at it from that perspective, you could see that there's a big demand for catfish in the market. So I looked at that and I said, okay, then let me also place myself, after studying the market, seeing what the price people were willing to buy it at, what it takes to produce. I said, then let me get in and then let's produce. And yeah.
Sharp. And how long has it been?
These tanks have been here for this. I think when you counted it, it's 8 to 9 months.
I said April, right?
April, yes.
So yes, 8 months.
8 months, thereabout. So it's been these ones are 8 months. Yeah.
8 months, okay. But did you begin with this one? Because I know you said you had one on the water.
We had one in the big water over there. So
okay.
With that one has been here for almost 2 years now. So we've harvested. I'll send you some videos you can show during the harvest
Period, okay.
Yes, we can harvest period. You can see the times we're harvesting there. But the harvest over there was quite tedious because it's now it is a river, or a natural water body on its own, even though we artificially made it that way.
Okay.
So the harvest there was a bit tedious. So we said, no, for now, let's move operations here. Yeah, that's what we said.
Nice. But let's look at the structure. I know it's catfish because I've done a lot of catfish videos. There's tarpaulin, there's the natural one, the earthen pond one, and there's concrete.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to go with the concrete one here?
Okay, so the reason why we went with the concrete tanks as opposed to the tarpaulin and the other ones, some even do the earthen one. That's the big one we've done here, but on a smaller scale.
Yeah.
The reason why we went with this one was basically we just wanted a bit more of a confined environment where we could control a lot of the elements, so we know exactly, exactly what we are doing, as opposed to giving, with a big one that we did like this, there's so many elements that we could not control. So with this one, there's a bit more control, and then we had a bit more land, very close to our piggery. I would say, okay, then we can do this here, keep an eye on both things, and then yeah, so that's why we went to this one.
Okay. And like so far, how have you seen the market, like the business, like catfish?
Oh, with the business since the time we started about a year and a half ago, 2021. That's almost 2 years ago. Yeah, there's demand. We had buyers from different the point and kill people. We have some of the women that do the smoke fish. They also come around. They call us to see. They call ahead of time. They, so if you are it's 1 kilo, you just give me a call. If you get like 0.8 kilo, give me a call. I'll come and get it. So there's demand. There's a lot of demand, and for the product. So it's quite good. We can't complain.
Okay. So if someone is watching us and they want to start their own catfish farm, what are they supposed to know? What are some of the important information that are relevant in catfish farming? Okay,
with catfish, I mean, it's just like anything. The major thing is how you just need to know how to care for the fish. You have to understand basically, there's certain it's aquaculture, right? So it's not like crop or livestock. It's animals fish that have to mainly survive in water. You have to understand, the times to basically general management, when to change their water, how to identify any sicknesses, how to treat these sicknesses, how to, the feed as well. What size of fish should they be eating per their age? What ingredient is in the feed itself? Is it more at a certain age they need more protein than carbohydrate? At a certain age to when they are built, more carbohydrates. So you have to basically top 2 things. I say number 1, understand the management aspect. The number 2, understand how to sell the business. You understand the business
is very important. Yes. But people have catfishes and they are saying they're not getting people to buy. If you don't understand the business of it and how to even go about it, I think it's probably a major challenge.
Yes.
Okay. So when starting, normally when people are starting, people ask of whether fingerlings or juveniles. Among the two, which one did you start with?
So we got at the fingerling. Sorry, we bought the juveniles.
Okay.
So we entered from the juvenile stage, and then so we got him from So we actually where we got it from were fingerlings, but they fed it for us for a while. Got to a decent weight before we brought them in.
Okay.
So that's the stage. But in future, we are looking to have our own small hatchery that we can, because we have some brood stock, the bigger size, older ones in the big tank over there. So we are looking to hatch, cross, how do you call it? Let the natural process of birth occur in catfish, and then we get the fingerlings from there so that we cut that cost out to them from there.
Okay. So for normally when people are starting, people ask this question whether juveniles or fingerlings. Yes. I always tell people, normally with the fingerlings, if you're a beginner, they are very small to take care of them.
Very small, yes.
If you don't take care, you might end up losing majority of them. So at least if they've grown to the juvenile point, it's better to go with them, at least as a beginner, even though they are a little bit pricey than the fingerlings. So it's better to go with the juvenile, so you don't end up wasting money or end up blessing most of them
that's
die
true.
out. Okay. Okay. So let me look at the feeding. I know when I came, I like
Contains the
how
right
you
nutrients.
do your own feed,
Yes.
what goes into the feeding and stuff.
Yeah.
Because most people who do are into catfish farming, they complain that most of the cost has to do with
The
feeding.
feed, yes.
Buying of feed almost every time is expensive. So yes, with feeding, what do you feed your fishes with?
Okay, so now we have a machine that pelletizes feed. We got the machine. I think you can get some locally made here in Ghana, but you can also import some from China if the price, because I think it's a bit cheaper than over here. But if you want it fast, you can just get it here. So we have one of these machines, and so basically the same thing that the catfish feed makers may use.
Yeah.
Maize, as corn, soybean, palm kernel cake, you can get groundnut cake, you can get blood meal, dried blood meal. You
Oh,
can
okay. You
mix,
can use that one
you can use,
for
yes,
them
you
too.
mix all of these elements and then you pelletize and then you make the feed.
Okay.
So those are the main ingredients that we use.
Sure, sure. But when they feed you, I saw biscuits and stuff in there.
Yeah. So what we use the biscuits for over here is to just, if you see the pellets, they are a bit crunchy, like you see how they are. So we just use we get biscuits from biscuit waste from factories that produce biscuits, So they give it to us, and most of them are actually still good for human consumption, but they just don't pass as production quality.
So like rejects from
Rejects,
there.
but they are still quite good. So we go there, and sometimes they give us for free. Sometimes we have
to pay for it.
give something small. So we get it from them, and then what it does is that it just helps the feed to be a bit more solid.
Oh, okay.
A bit
That's the
more
purpose it says.
Yes, purpose it says. Just gives the feed a bit more form, like pellets, like Yeah.
Okay, okay. But aside that one to do the pellet form, you made mention of I think what was in the gallon?
Bitter leaf.
Bitter leaf. Okay,
Yes.
what was that one to do?
So bitter leaf is mainly for treatment of diseases in the water.
Okay.
So periodically, don't wait for the sickness to happen. Prevention better than cure. So periodically, maybe every week, you can get bitter leaf, blend the water. You get a blender, you blend the water, so you can make it very concentrated. Then later add some more water to dilute it, or you can just like you are washing, extracting the juice from the bitter leaf. You wash it into a bucket.
Okay.
Then you get the juice from there, and you pour it in your tanks. What it does, it has a lot of healing properties even for human beings. It's very good. You go to Nigeria, they have bitter leaf soup.
Oh,
They
okay.
make it spice it nicely. It's such a good plant.
Nice.
Almost all livestock, even human beings, we have to start incorporating these things, because nature is very healing. It's just that we don't have the knowledge of these things because of now looking at Western medicine. Everything is a pill, everything is a black tonic, all these things. So we have shied away from the actual source that was healing. Ask yourself how our forefathers treating sicknesses before the white man came with modern medicine.
Yeah.
We also were using our techniques, and we survived all the way to now. We still have civilization. So there's healing powers in this. God himself has put healing powers in some of these plants that we need to incorporate. I try as much as possible to incorporate a lot here on my farm. Yeah. So that's what the bitter leaf is
Yes.
for. Yeah.
Okay. And how many times do you apply it to give it to them?
This one, I think once every week. When I blend it, when I come, then
Just feed them.
yes.
Okay. And when they feed them, how many times do you feed them?
So this one we feed. What happens is sometimes if they get too full, they can get bloated, and then you can realize that they get a bit lethargic, then can die sometimes. Okay. So we feed periodically. We can even feed, let's say, around maybe 3 times a day. So the first time we give, when we realize that their enthusiasm for the food has gone down, we stop.
You stop, yeah.
Then we come back in maybe 3 hours, 4 hours, come and test and see if they are a bit enthusiastic. We spray. When that also goes down, then finally maybe the 3rd time we also give. But yeah, okay. you can feed once a day if you want, but make sure that everyone has eaten is enough quantity that everybody has eaten, and it's fine.
Sure. Looking at the structure with the concrete that you went for, how much did it cost with the setup cost, and also take us through like how it works.
Okay, so this one here, we have the plumbing. How do you call it? It goes all the way to the water body there.
Okay.
So that's where we pump the water from.
Oh, okay. So the water moves from that side.
Moves on that side, and then it comes to. So that's what these pipes are here for. So when we use the pump machine, we take it all the way from the top there. Now it pumps and it comes here. So when we want to drain, we also release the valves, and now the water drains and it goes down into, we have the bushes here, some crops are in there, so it goes to water them.
Oh,
So,
I like the whole idea.
yeah, so you kill two birds with one stone,
Nice,
more or
nice,
less.
nice.
So that's what we do. So these tanks, I think per tank, I think no, the total everything we spent putting all this together was, I think at the time, almost 15,000. The plumbing included, may have taken it to around 18.
Okay.
It taken it to around 18. Yeah.
And how many rooms are they?
There are 4. There are 4 chambers that all contain. We actually overstocked the fish, so we have plans of expanding. When we sell some, we will probably do 2 more. Either we'll not continue, either we'll do it at the, we'll leave us some space and then do it over here, yes.
Okay.
Because now everyone holds about 1,500.
Okay.
But we're
in
not
each room?
but we're not supposed to go more than even 750, so it's almost double.
Yeah.
But we are selling, so we are selling. As we sell, it gets freer. So we'll hopefully.
But do you know the dimensions per each room? The
dimensions, I don't know the exact. What I know is that I just ordered that it should be a perfect 4 square.
Okay.
But I forgot. I have to look. All these, I put them down on my notebook and my laptop at home.
Okay.
So I have everything. So I can later give it to, give you the information, and maybe I will put it at the tag or something like that. So
that's fine. That's fine. So I would include those information for you guys.
Yes.
But looking at the concrete, how it was built, is the inside plastered like this?
Yes, the inside is done with was this type of kind of waterproof cement.
Okay.
Cement that can actually, it supports water. So we've dug it. If this is drain, you see that's a bit deep, because we dug a little bit into the earth.
Okay.
As well to start the structure. So yes, it's kind of like this, but just like a different type of water, like cement. Yes.
Okay. That's cool. And how many times do you change the water?
The water. So at first we were doing 3 times every 3 days. Change it once every 3 days when they first came, because they are kids. So sometimes even 2 days. When you realize you have bubbles all over, means that they are struggling for oxygen in the water, so quickly change. But now they are a bit solid, so I think this we pumped water yesterday, but then before that it was a week ago.
Before you did.
Yeah, sometimes even when there's rain water that comes in, we can leave it as much as 2 weeks. Once we come daily, we inspect and we make sure that no mortality is being recorded. The bubbles are not many, then we know that, yeah.
Okay. But you mentioned something very important. So normally when people get their fishes, the first week that they transport them onto the farm, they get a lot of mortalities.
Mortalities, yes.
How did you deal with that?
We also had some mortality. When we brought these ones in, we had about 400 die on the way. Yeah, when we got here, the next morning we were just counting them. So we called where we got the stuff from, and he was willing enough to give us even ×2. That's how come we have so many overstock.
Okay.
Yeah, so with that one, it's
a major challenge.
You don't. I mean, you can do the right things, but then at the end of the day, still you get mortality. I don't know. I think what is best is if you are probably hatching it close to where you are going to cultivate them.
Yeah.
So if let's say the hatchery was just like maybe right here, we just transfer. Yeah. It doesn't stress them too much.
I like that point.
Yes, it doesn't stress them too much. But if it's like long distances, even human beings have car sickness. Sometimes we realize, when I sit in someone's front seat and we are driving, I get nauseous.
Yeah, I used to have that too a lot.
So it's almost the same thing that's replicated with these ones as well. So I think the best is not stressing them, hatching somewhere, getting them for a close hatchery.
Yeah.
It's not a long drive like that.
True. So over my videos I've done for some time now, to some of the things I've also learned is they have this pill. It's like red and yellow that they use. So when they bring them first, they mix it with the water and give it to them.
Yeah.
Another thing too is you have to change water regularly. Like every day, make sure you are changing the water for them.
Yes.
And if they are transporting them to those transporting the fishes, they have to feed the fishes well before they transport them. And when they come to, make sure you feed them for them to eat before you can transfer them into the water. So some of these things are some of the measures you can use to at least reduce like the mortalities you have on the farm. Yeah. Else you bring them. Nowadays, almost every time you have some mortality, it comes to the fishes.
Mortality
it's normal. That's why even if you are buying them, they add some numbers to it to at least for you to at least compensate.
So even sometimes if you are also selling, you can also just give, oh yes, if the person buys, let's say 100 kilo, so yes, more 10 kilo.
So, in
Because
addition to
maybe
it,
on the way, definitely you might
something
lose
can
one, two.
happen. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. I like the way you also produce your own feed because I know feed is
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
expensive.
as for feed cost, hey.
It's expensive because you doing piggery, animal farming, most of
Yeah,
the cost has to do with
feed.
feed. So imagine you're not doing your own feed with
You
piggery,
can't survive.
with catfish, and even tilapia.
You can't survive. You can't
It's
survive.
crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Okay. Okay. So for those watching us who don't know the life cycle of catfish, at what time point do they mature, and
Oh,
how is it sold?
so really depends on your feeding, because you can have some fish that maybe even after a year it's not there yet, but you can have some that even within 4, 5, 6 months, within that time range, it's a kilo. And usually people like to, the point and kill guys, they like to buy 1 kilo and above.
Yeah.
So what can happen is sometimes cannibalism. They feed off each other. And you realize that you stock maybe 1,000 catfish, then you come back to go and hatch. You realize that you have big sizes, but then they are only like 400.
Yeah, they've reduced the
They've
number.
reduced in number drastically. So with that one day, it takes a short time. Maybe you can even get them ready in 4 months because they've eaten each other. So
Yeah.
with that one, they get bigger fast. So it's that thing you can also use as a tactic. You understand? Yes.
Yeah.
Even though it is quite upsetting if you don't know, but intentionally you can use that as a tactic to get your fish faster. But then usually you want to keep your numbers and then increase all of them in weight so you get more money.
Yeah.
So with that one, it takes anywhere from, honestly, if you are taking your time feeding them well, anywhere from 5 months going.
6 months,
You
7
should be, you
months.
should
Yeah.
be able to hit a kilo, depending on the quantity. Here, 8,000 or so fishes that we are. So we just have this first tank and the last tank have the biggest ones. Some of the ones in the middle are quite small, even though they all came at the same time. But because you know, some are the feeding, so some will eat before others. I mean, survival.
Sure.
You understand? Yeah.
Yeah, you brought another important point. So when you're stocking them,
Mm-hmm.
is it that you stock them all in one pond area, and later you did what you call sorting, or how did you go about
No,
it?
so what we did was we divided. Immediately we bought it, we put all differently, or everyone in different, so that they all grow together at the same time.
Okay.
So that it's not now that this one we transfer this one into another pen. They don't in a weird way. When even one dies, he's here, he or she is here and he dies here. The others around will not eat it. But if you lift it and put it in another tank, immediately you realize that they'll use it as food. So in a weird way, they kind of know each other.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So they know if one has, one is smaller than them and has just been introduced to the tank, they will know.
True.
Then they will make.
I because there is something that normally call sorting when it
Sorting,
comes to,
yes.
like, the fishes.
Mhm.
Because some of them, even though we are human beings, we can all eat the same food, but
Yes,
some will get bigger than others.
So sorting.
So what people do, they try to separate
Yes.
them to sort
So
them.
sorting, when you realize that maybe after a while, it's feeding for a good 2 months to
Yes.
3 months, you realize that look, you have some bigger than the other. So what you do is that then pick all the big ones, put them in one tank. Then from there, you increase their feed so you get to market weight faster. Then you can also focus on the
Smaller
ones,
ones,
make sure
yes,
that they are
yes.
also big. So that's why I think we sorted twice or 3 times. So
Okay.
we sorted all the big ones here.
And
Then
the
last one, and the middle ones are all smaller
Small.
fish, yes. But they are also getting bigger now. So
Okay, okay. And these are some of the means too. You can also try to reduce the cannibalism too. Because sometimes the bigger ones will be feeding on the small
the
ones.
smaller ones.
Then, and I even know I've heard of instances where the bigger ones have some will be fighting each other. They'll be like eating on some of
yeah.
them. It's crazy.
It's survival, though. It's the catfish there. they are. some people call them mad fish.
Yeah.
So but they produce quite good meat. So
True. So, do you specify a particular breed of fish to buy, especially with the fingerlings?
with the fingerlings, I have not. Well, since it's the first time like we were stocking, over here, I wasn't really picky about I just knew I was getting it from a trusted hatchery because they give us the ones for the big tank, the big dam.
Okay.
So I just knew that it was a good, it was a good. The price was good, so I didn't really, I didn't was not too picky about the the breed. So
Okay. I think mostly in Ghana we all have one particular breed. Mostly the Clarias they sell.
yes.
Clarias they sell. And one thing too is when it comes to the fishes, there are some that you buy from like this, like the pigs. That's what you're explaining. There are some places you go and buy fishes where even if they get also juvenile, they don't grow.
yeah, no. Yes, it happens.
They don't grow. So you can buy them and bring them in your farm and you feed them.
Oh, it's not your fault.
They are not going anywhere.
Yes,
And there are some places you buy your fishes to. Within like first 2-3 months, you feed them.
Yeah,
Or you
feed
see
them,
that they are like at least growing. They are
Yes.
gaining like
Yeah,
bigger sizes
yeah.
and stuff. So yeah.
Sometimes you can do everything right, but your
Still.
fish are not growing.
True.
Just nature is just like that. So with that one, I say still you haven't lost. That's how to. You can get this. Even they are small, they are not growing. Hatch them, harvest them. I mean, put them in the sun like this. Let them die. You know, put some salt around them. Let them die. It quickens their, the mortality when you put salt.
Yeah.
So when they die, you just lay them out in the sun.
Okay.
Let it dry a little bit. Then what you can do is you take it to some feed mills. Let them put it in, make it powder.
Okay.
So you can get fish meal.
For mom.
Like that's for feed.
Sure.
So with that one, if you get the fish meal, you can sell to farmers who want to, because fish meal is good protein.
I like that point.
So, so nothing is ever waste.
Yeah, true.
Nothing is ever waste.
That's a good point. If you have a pond and most of them are dying, then just throw them away.
No, don't throw them. So that's why we incorporate with them. If one dies over here, mortality, we've not wasted. What we do, we directly feed the pigs.
I like that. So in the end, you don't lose. Make sure that everything is well utilized.
Yes.
And I like how your mechanism works. From the dam here.
Yeah.
Channel it onto the crops.
The crops.
Like
yeah.
Everything is like connected.
Yeah.
And I know with time, as time goes on, as the farm grows and expands to, like there'll be more things that will be linked together.
God is willing for us, yes.
Sharp. I like that. So let's look at the marketing aspects.
Yes.
As a marketing student, please, there are people who are there and are saying, I'm not getting market for my fishes.
Yeah.
I'm not getting market for my fishes. If there's any advice you give them on how to go about it, what would that be?
As for marketing, I think usually people stop. Like, what happens is they have catfish, then they tell one person, oh, I'm selling. Then maybe they post on their WhatsApp status one time, post on Instagram 1 time, 2 times, let their friends post. Then after that, they say, hey, nobody message me, nobody. But look, you have to continuously
doing it.
You turn up day 1, day 2, day 3. You go on until everything is done.
Yeah.
Because what happens is, it's like there's this passage of the Bible that there was this time there was a lady who had wanted something from a king in the Bible, and what it was, she was she wasn't a prominent person in society. So anytime that she goes to the king's place, it's like, oh, Hammy, you are worrying me. Who is this lady? I won't give you what you want. But the woman was so persistent that one day the man got tired and said, okay, look, let me give you what you want. Leave me alone. I use that thing as a marketing rule. It's not like pester the person, but always show up.
Be consistent.
Be consistent. Be consistent. Because assuming if, let's say, you are selling something, we are selling the same thing. If every day you put yourself in the face of the consumer, as opposed to me, I come once in a while, who do you think the consumer is more willing to trust?
The one that the face is...
The one the face that is so brand awareness. So constant, not just focus, don't just do, oh, I'm selling pigs or I'm selling fish, once or twice. You keep going. Then also direct calling. Some of these point and kills, you go to their places. Mostly, even if the owner is not around, the workers can give you the number of the owner. Call the person. Before you even call, WhatsApp the person with your stock, what you have. Show them, if you have ever sold before, show them proof that you sold to so and so person. So then give them an offer, even before you call. Then you call and say, oh, I have just messaged you from so and so. I went, this is my name. I messaged you with so and so. You can kindly check on your WhatsApp. Even the person doesn't check then later when the person as nice, the person is going to their phone, will see. Say that this is the one who called me. Okay, Catfish. He has this. I can call them. You definitely, and you don't stop just then. Follow up with another call. Follow up with a message. Because you are trying to sell. So just keep going. Take advantage of social media ads, Instagram. You can promote your
Facebook. You can also do that.
Facebook, Google ads. If you have a website, if you really don't have a website, you can still use Google ads to your advantage. Just position yourself in a way that no matter what, you will be seen. It might not happen instantly, But trust me, once the fish are still here, and I mean, if the longer they stay, you still spending on feeding costs.
Yeah.
But once they are here, if you can still spend on feed costs, you are not losing. Once they are not dying or anything, even if they die, like I said, there's different ways you can process these fish. So with the market, explore all options as much as possible to sell. Yeah.
Nice. And did there's any advice for a new beginner who was venturing into catfish farming or in the business? What advice will you give a person?
Okay, so with beginning, if you are beginning, don't let like I would say, don't look at what somebody has already done. There's the magnitude they have done and say, oh, when will I get here? When will I even start to even attain? If it is a small, the tarpaulin one, you can buy that one in your backyard at home.
Yeah.
You can start with that one. You can start. You like I said, profit margin. Farming is a business that is all about profit margin. If it takes you 10 cedis to buy, it takes you 1 cedi 50 pesos to buy one fingerling. So let's say that one fingerling, 1 cedi 50 pesos. That's cost of production. Now your tarpaulin or whatever, if you spread that cost, if you divide that cost to that one fingerling, you realize. But even that one is even a fixed asset. But if you spread it across to that one fingerling, it will cost maybe 50 pesos per that fingerling. So now for that 2 cedis is what I spent. Now you feed that one catfish, you will not spend more. If you divide per that one catfish, you're not going to spend more than 2, give or take. You're not going to spend more than even, if you are going to really be this thing, you're not going to spend more than even, I think, 15 cedis on actually that one catfish.
Yeah.
So when you spread it across a number, you realize that, look, your profit margins, because you are going to be selling, let's say 35, 40 per kilo.
Yeah.
So you realize that your profit margins are really what?
Huge.
Are quite huge. So when you spread it across the whole sum of, like, let's say 100 catfish going, then you realize that yes, there's a good profit to be made here. So as a beginner, don't be scared by the point of entry. The barrier to entry for catfish farming is not too high. You can get the small tanks at home. You can start. The feeding costs might be the problem, because they will require to eat a lot. But you can find different ways, like how we had to find ways to find feed. But you can find different ways. Even if you don't have the pellet machine, there's this you can use gari, mix gari with hot water, then the blood meal. Also, you boil it. When it's hot like that, then you add maybe maize and palm kernel cake. You make it into a ball. Okay. Then now you can tear it and then throw.
And give it to them.
So it becomes solid.
Okay.
Then you leave it in the sun to dry for a while, it becomes solid. Then you round it into your hands, throw. Any way you can to make sure that maybe your cost of production is being reduced, but you are being productive, you have to try and do it.
Nice.
Then the medication, don't let also cost of medication be an issue. There's so many herbs, there's so many, you can even salt treatment.
Yeah, can help.
Yes.
With the sickness.
Bitter leaf, throwing pawpaw also in the pawpaw leaves. I mean, there's so many things that you can do to make sure that you are being productive. So as a beginner, just make sure, like watching videos like this, listening to what other farmers are saying, it's a big way of acquiring information. So I'll say beginners, you can start.
Nice. I think we'll end the video here with. If you need more information, more about it, I've done several videos on catfish farming. I even have a playlist of videos on catfish farming, so we can also check those videos out. Obviously, we can't touch on everything here, but at least I believe the information has been informative and educative to you. At least my takeaway is no, nothing is of waste.
Yes,
if they die, find a way and process it to feed and give it to them. You can even give the same the one that is dead to the fishes and they'll eat. You can even serve as feed for them. So yeah, that's my takeaway. Let me know what your takeaway is from this video in the comment section. So yes, we'll end the video here. If there's any last words you want people to know, you can just.
I want everyone to go out there, subscribe to my master.